Hey, how's it going? It's Ari here. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I want to talk about the digital nomad lifestyle and specifically, is the American dream dead? And should you decide to live overseas? Should you move to another country in Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, Latin America, or should you stay in America? So I want to give my honest perspective on this as someone who is been looking a lot into the digital nomad lifestyle. I've also been, I've been looking into a lot of different other countries. And so I want to give my overall perspective from the standpoint of what I believe to be the best approach for the average everyday person. And so this, I think, will especially benefit a lot of young people that might be watching this. So if you are someone who is currently in your 20s or 30s and you are looking to potentially relocate to another country, then you might get some value out of this video. And so my goal with this video is not to get political in any way, shape, or form. So regardless of if you are on the right or left, that doesn't really matter because I'm going to really aim to look at this from a kind of unbiased perspective. And so the majority of my life, I've always been very much in the middle. I was never one to pick sides and, as far as like who is the better candidate. And so I used to get a lot of flack for that. But I've always believed overall that the best thing that you could do, regardless of who is in office, is to have freedom. You want to find a way to create time freedom, money freedom, and preferably location freedom. And the best way that I found to do that is to have some sort of online business. And so if you have at least one or multiple income streams online where you can freely decide to work anywhere and anywhere on your own terms, then that will allow you to pretty much kind of create your own lifestyle regardless of what is going on in the world, right? So if you spend time on social media or you watch the news, then you are likely hearing a lot of reasons as to why the American dream is dead and why a lot of people are moving out of the United States, setting up shop elsewhere, relocating, setting up another home base. And so I will give kind of both perspectives on kind of the benefits of both, right? So I've always believed that you should always do your very best to be grateful for what you do have, right? So right now it's very easy to get in this mindset of, oh, life sucks here, right? Because cost of living is going up, there's inflation, there's the housing crisis, we have the quality of our food compared to other countries is not the best. And then also there is the division. So we're more divided than ever before. We have different generations hating on each other, boomers hating on, Gen Z, Gen X hating on, millennials and all that. And so then there's also men and women aren't really getting along as much. They're not dating as much. They're not getting married, having kids. There are divorce laws in place that are preventing men from getting married. And then, of course, there's also some racial division as well. So for me, I find that it's very easy to look at all of this and think, man, life isn't great here. But if you have family that you're close with here, that's something to be grateful for. If you have, friends that are close to you, then that is something that you should, of course, be grateful for. Because if you decide to move overseas, and that, of course, is something that you won't have as much access to. You won't have, you won't be as much in contact with those people. And of course, you can keep up with them, online, but that's something to be grateful for because the one thing that is guaranteed is taxes and death. Those are the two things that you unfortunately can't escape. So I've always been a huge advocate of, regardless of what's going on, try to be as optimistic as you possibly can. And that's kind of always been my mindset. However, I think that the best thing that you could do right now, especially if you are a young person watching this, is you want to spend your free time outside of work as strategic as possible. So most likely if you're watching this, you are doing the 40-hour work week, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. And so I know that most jobs nowadays can't really keep up with the cost of living going up. And so maybe that'll improve. Maybe wages will go up. Maybe cost of living will go down. Anything can happen really. And even if everything goes well in this current 4-year lifespan, then things can always do a whole 180 and then go backwards again. And so that's kind of always been the downside that I've seen that a lot of people are starting to notice now with the current system that we have in place. And so again, regardless of what side that you're on, whether you're on the right or if you're on the left, I think that there is I don't think that either side is perfect, right? And so, that's kind of my overall viewpoint altogether. So when you have some sort of online business and you have a way to earn, a couple $1,000 online per month online, then you have the freedom and flexibility to either move to another state, move to another city that is, lower cost of living. Maybe it's a smaller town and, there's more of a, community in that town. Then that is, of course, the flexibility that you have with an online business. And then, of course, you have the option of traveling to another country. And I think that when it comes to becoming a digital nomad and you have a way to make an income online, the benefit with that is you have the best of both worlds. So the reason why a lot of people outside the US come here is for work opportunities, right? They want to earn extra money. They want to save up more. They want to, provide better support for their family. And so I have, a lot of Uber drivers that I've had, for example. I hear a lot of different perspectives from people who are from different countries. And so I hear a lot of immigrants who say that they are really grateful to be here, which is very valid because, they have their family back in India or, like Africa or whatever, and they either do Uber or they do other things here and they're able to support their family. And so I've also had someone that, was just complaining and saying that all we do here in America is work. And so that is one thing that a lot of people are getting kind of tired of here in the US is, if you're constantly working, you're working 40 hours a week, and then also factor in with that the disappearance of third places because of cost of living and, price of everything going up, then the average person, when you also factor in the division and, more violence, people are not going out as often. They're not spending time with friends. And the average everyday person, especially young men right now, they go to work 40 hours a week and then they come home and they either just play video games, watch TV, or they scroll on social media. And so when you're living that type of lifestyle and you're just focusing on, you're just scrolling on social media, it's very easy to see and hear all the negatives about living here. And so that might kind of hold you back in a sense where it's like you kind of feel like, there's really no point. You don't really have much motivation to really do much, because you're just working all the time and, you don't really see much of a future. So if you're currently in that phase right now, what I highly encourage that you do is learn some type of skill that you could do online. And so if you want a simple thing that you could do online, one of the best things that you could do is learn how to market online. So whether you decide to have your own product to sell and you decide to learn about a specific topic, or if you decide to become an affiliate and you want to promote someone else's products, then that is one thing that you could do to start creating another source of income. So there are products out there that will pay you $500 per sale, 1,000, and there's some that pay recurring commissions. And so with a lot of these programs, you could build up a pretty decent income stream, even just with a small handful of referrals like every month. And so, for example, in my case, I promote a product that pays residual income. And this isn't, the purpose of me saying this isn't to say that, that like, join whatever I'm doing right here, because there's plenty of things that you could promote. And so depending on what niche you want to get into or what it is that you want to learn about, whether that's, getting better health, learning how to make money, or improving relationships, or learning about travel, any niche that you want to get into, there are plenty of different things out there that you could promote and become an affiliate for. And so by learning how to leverage social media to your advantage and not, from a consumer standpoint, but you focus on producing, then that will allow you to potentially build up an audience of people that know, like, and trust you. And then you can have different resources that you recommend to them. And that's a way that you can monetize social media. So you could either do something like that. You can get into cryptocurrency, or you can get into, affiliate marketing, network marketing. You can find some type of remote job. You can learn copywriting, voiceover. There are plenty of opportunities out there online that you could do right now. And so also with AI becoming more relevant than ever, understand that majority of jobs that exist today are going to be replaced by AI. So my personal opinion on that is to consider learning how to leverage AI to your benefit and learn how to use it in a way that will benefit yourself and others. And so that's one other thing that you can learn about as well. And so it's estimated that in the next 5 years, AI is going to create more millionaires than the internet has in 20 years. So if you could find a way to either leverage AI, learn e-commerce, learn online marketing, or learn how to, create your own product that people want to promote, have your own affiliate program, then this is something that you could do online and from anywhere in the world. So whether you decide to continue living in the US or you decide to explore another country and you decide to get another passport, then you can pretty much have kind of the best of both worlds if you learn how to earn US dollars online. So for me, what I'm currently going for is I have my online business that I'm building. I make videos like this, and hopefully you find value here. Regardless of whether you decide to work with me or not, that's completely up to you. But I hope to provide as much value on this channel as possible, share ideas, and then if you like hearing my takes on things, then you can subscribe to the channel, check out other videos if you'd like. I have other tutorials that go over, how to promote different products. So if you happen to be in something else, some other online business, you want to find out how to get more traffic to that, then you could learn from other videos that I have on this channel, listen to my other takes on different things, and then I hope to share some type of value with you. So that's my intention with this channel, and also to document my journey along the way. And so my intention is to not only provide value, but also I intend to have a second home base and then document my journey with that as well. So that is something that I'll be doing down the road. So I live in Wisconsin right now in the United States. I'm 27 right now. And what I intend to do within the next year or two is to start traveling more and also talk about my experience living in Southeast Asia or Eastern Europe. Mostly Southeast Asia is what I'm looking into right now. And so you might also be looking into that as well. So that being said, let me know your thoughts down below, what you think of this take. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below. I would really appreciate that. And give us a thumbs up if you found value here. And if you want to see more videos just like this, just, a guy sharing my thoughts, videos like this, then be sure to subscribe down below and tap the bell icon so you could be notified of all future videos. So that being said, hope you found this valuable and take care. See you in the next one.